All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It has been a little bit. Apologize for that, guys. I had a couple weeks there where I had some things going on, and then 1 week where I had no internet, and another week where I just needed sleep. So we've been gone for about a month now. So it's good to be back. It's good to see everyone out there. And with that, I'll throw it over to Alan to get us started off right.
Yeah. Been gone a month, and as you can tell, the beard is back. But with that said, we will start off in the usual fashion. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which she stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We've got lots of people already popping in. I guess they miss Scotsman's beautiful face. Don't know why they'd come here to look at it, but AR Guns 1776, Edward Petty, Garage Guy. Wow, it just jumped. Uncle John, Mario Mosen looking for a link. Vanessa Kitty, Good evening, Sergeant. Yeah. I never know how to pronounce Endiona. I don't know. Paul P. Idenier. Okay. I won't remember that next week. Warthog 71 jumping in. And up. There they are. It's the YouTube auditor. Like to specially welcome you to the chat.
Awesome, good deal. So we got a couple of different people with us. Daniel, how you doing, man?
Oh, I've been pretty quiet here the last few weeks. I just been doing this thing called Life. And I actually accomplished all my honeydew list, and I started working on some for my own. And one of them, right here it is, good lighting, the crow's nest, my room. And I got a new shooting range out back. And that way Scotsman can get on down here and do a little shooting.
Yep, my range is looking pretty sweet.
Yeah, I got that built and everything in it. I've got $1,300 in it.
Nice.
If you can believe that.
Nice. Very cool. And we got someone new with us tonight. We got Dan, the Battlefield Curator. How you doing, sir?
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing all right over here. Just looking for deals.
Awesome. And there's a link in the description down below. If you guys have not subscribed to Dan already, please go over and do so.
Appreciate it.
We'll get in some of what Dan's into here shortly. Jamie, how you doing, man?
I'm doing better than I deserve. Been a busy day, as Sundays always are around our house. Welcome to Daniel, Battlefield Curator. Good to have you with us, fellow Georgia brother. So I'm always happy to meet new Georgia folks. Hey, Miss Kitty. And I want to say this before we get too deep into what we're going to be talking about today. Alan's beard is back. The same shape is still there. So.
Getting right back to the whole stormtrooper look.
Yeah, Chewbacca.
Yeah, you got that curl going on again.
Yeah, and I don't understand exactly why it does it. It doesn't grow like anything else I've ever seen. I can use some top of the line beard products, and this episode is not sponsored by Bossman Beard Products, but it is what it is. It's the whole stormtrooper look. And speaking of stormtroopers, the sexiest man on YouTube, the Battle Bean.
Hi. What's going on, everybody? Man,
What's
this fool,
happening, bud?
this fool forgot to send me a link, man. It's messed up, man. No love. Anyways, how's everybody doing?
How the hell you doing, Bean?
Oh, I am living life. That's all I'm doing, man.
Nice.
All I'm doing, just trying to. Actually, just came from vacation just for the weekend. So yeah, life is good, man. Can't complain.
Awesome, good deal. So we got Dan with us, and I figured we'd talk a little bit about Millsop stuff, collectibles, so Dan, why don't you tell us a little about you, about your channel, kind of what you do?
All right. Over at Battlefield Curator, I like to share history and curate history. I've been collecting for about 5 years now, and I just figured I'd do so much research on a lot of these firearms that I'd figured, hey, I need to start a channel and share some of this with people that are just starting to get into it, or maybe, new stuff comes out every so often. So, I always like to do a little research, read some books, look online. There's a lot of information out there, so I figured I'd consolidate it and kind of start like a portfolio on Instagram. And that's where I started. And then I realized that, I could share with more folks on YouTube, and the videos are going to be there, and they're going to be linked to Google, and Google's got the most powerful search engine in the world. So why not?
Awesome. Very cool. So what do you like to collect the most?
So I would say just foreign rifles. There's a lot of unique. So when you see the turn of the century, we were getting away from black powder rifles, going into cartridge rifles and smokeless powder, repeating rifles. So you saw a lot of ingenuity during those time frames. And you just had this big spike in innovation when it came to military firearms. And that was, that was a dark time in world history. A lot of militaries were just, fighting each other with at longer ranges. And many countries had to defend their lines, defend their ways of life, and different political things happening around the world. So it's really part of, the world's history.
Awesome. Absolutely. And I think right now, especially in today's times where we're at, it's important to remember a lot of that history. And I think that's one of the cool things about your channel. You keep the videos at a decent length and keep them well informed at the same time.
Thanks. Yep.
There are some guys out there that make 20, 30-minute videos and just bore me to death.
And when Scotsman talks about a decent length of video, he's talking no more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Well, that was the other thing too. I realized that a lot of people's attention spans are like this these days. So got to keep it short and to the point.
Oh, absolutely. And you do a really good job with that. So
appreciate it.
We got so Jamie and myself are Smith & Wesson collectors. So Jamie, you can obviously see he's a 586 guy.
Yes, and I added recently 686, like the one we were talking about before we came on. That we're not allowed to. I assume we can talk about it. We just can't show it on camera or touch it.
Yeah.
No, you swapped out your grips on yours though, didn't you? You put some wood grips on yours, right?
They didn't fit. The grips I acquired were for an N frame, and mine being a K or an L frame, they kind of didn't fit. So we still got some on order, so we'll be that'll become a permanent transfer here before too long. The rubber is great for shooting at the range and mitigating and absorbing recoil a little bit, but when it comes to a classic Smith & Wesson revolver, I just love that blued steel and wood look. And The 686 is stainless, so you don't have the problems that you have with a rubber grip on a blue gun, which is you got to take those grips off every once in a while, like every 6 or 8 months. You just got to take that rubber grip off of a blue gun and get down in there and get the moisture out and clean it up, put some oil on it, put it back on there. I do not like a rubber grip on a blue gun. I just don't.
Yeah, it's important, even with wood grips, to take them off and make sure you keep it oiled up.
No, it's such a much more classical look with the wood grips. I mean, all stainless. I kind of like the look of a factory rubber grip. Some of like the crazy overmolded, ridiculous, like you got ape hands and that's the only way that you can hold it kind of grip. That bothers me. And I got some big ass hands, so even the stainless, if you get the right wood grips, I think that looks pretty damn cherry also.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you can find them out there, and there's some remakes and stuff like that, and they're pretty decent. I would never put a remake on an old one though. You got to find original grips if you can't. If they don't come with it.
And they're out there.
Way too many people threw out put rubber grips on. So if you guys have any questions for Dan, throw them out there and we'll put them up on screen and see if we can get you an answer. So Alan, other than work and stuff, what's been going on with you, man?
Oh, man, busy. Been doing some vehicle work as of late, and taking care of some medical issues. But other than that, been shooting mildly. I haven't gotten back to my every weekend crazy amount of rounds, but I'm getting out. I'm getting out at least once a week and running a few mags, or so it's not desolate. The reloading side is still keeping me going with the supplies that have been sent to me kindly. That's been keeping me going. Still in my area, I can't get primers, but that's still kind of tough across the board. And ammo prices are starting to come down from what I'm told, but I go in and I see $30 a box for Tula. I'm like, no thanks. Ain't happening. I need my brass at the end of it. but yeah. And other than that, I heard there was someone that wanted to challenge somebody else on a Battle of the Beards. So
unfortunately, I haven't heard back from for a 100% official answer. So we're still waiting on that. As soon as I get an answer, I'll let you know. Unfortunately, I haven't heard back yet.
Yep. You gotta admit they like the wood better than they do the rubber, but nobody even mentioned plastic.
Yeah. I got a question for old Battlefield there. You shoot handguns? Do you shoot handguns?
I do.
Oh, really? And what's your preferred handgun?
Oh man. Let's see. So I am a huge fan of the CZ75.
We got a winner. You fit right in. Okay. I was getting worried. I thought I was going to say this is going to be a short-lived YouTube career.
Yeah, we can keep him now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool pistol. It's got it fits great in the hand, and of course mine's dated in the early '90s. I've got one dated in the early '90s. So
Nice.
Very nice. Yep, you got the approval of Firearms 101.
Oh, yeah. We exposed him to CZs, and he got it stupid sick.
yeah, I don't just have one CZ75. Couldn't just settle with one. I had to get another one.
Okay, do you reload at all?
Never got into reloading, and I kind of wish I did, but I have friends that reload, and I'll take some of my brass over them, and they'll reload. And I keep meeting folks that reload. One thing about going to local gun shops is you tend to network with folks that have the same interests as you, and you meet people that do different things, collect different rifles, shoot different rifles, shoot different handguns. Some people like trap shooting. You got all different walks of life that walk into the gun shop. But they're all part of the gun community, and you might find somebody with a range that reloads that has a cannon. And I found a gentleman that lives in pretty much the middle of nowhere, and he's got all that. And I was like, I'm impressed. This guy's awesome.
You see,
That's
Mario,
pretty
that's
cool.
what we do in free states.
Where's Mario from?
Come on, Mario, tell him.
Parts unknown. Parts
Wow.
parts we don't
For
want
once
to know.
in his life, Mario is actually shutting up.
Yeah, he's going to try to see how long he can go without talking. Mario
No.
has a CZ.
Now, there's a challenge. A live stream with Mario where Mario says nothing the entire live stream.
Oh, we got to put some bets on
Don't,
this.
don't challenge Mario. You know he'll accomplish the mission.
As long as nobody tells him his mute button's pushed.
Here I was just about to ask where Mario went on his vacation. He more than likely took his hot wife. And now I can't even get an answer out of him. Thanks, guys.
Did he see anything cool along the way? Did he get out of California?
And what another one of the things I want to know is it really $6 a freaking gallon in California for gas right now? Good. That is just fucking ridiculous.
That sounds like a Green New Deal. Did he go and visit his cousin, AOC?
Man, you tried.
How's Aunt Pelosi? And Dan's just sitting there going, what the heck are these guys talking about?
And Dan brings up a really good point about meeting people at gun shops, gun shows, interacting and networking is really awesome to do. And I've met some really good people over the years doing it. So
I have too, but I now live in Iowa, and you meet some of the weirdest damn people out here.
that's because there's nothing out there. Well, there is. There's wind. A lot of crosswinds.
Yeah. It doesn't help videos none. But like I need to worry about that. I don't make videos.
There's Jamie. He hasn't stopped reloaded since before the pre-chat. He's still going on. Looks like he's putting bullets in.
What are you working over there, Jamie?
I am sizing 38 special brass, and these are the nickel plated cases. So I got a question. Do you guys separate pistol brass by head stamp, or you just throw them all in there and just shoot them mixed up?
Throw them all in.
Yeah,
Shoot
throw
them till
all
they
in.
crack.
The only problem I've come across is when you're running it on the Dillon, is some of the primer pockets. You know, if they're crimped, then it's a pain in the rear end. You gotta stop, pull it out, and put another one in and keep going. And yes, there is a lot of crimped 9mm out there, believe it or not.
Yes, there is.
And I seem to find it all.
Well, don't be bringing that down here and contaminating my brass, because I've never seen that on a 9mm.
It's out there, and you can hand prime them easier. There's just a pain on the Dillon. On the Dillon, they tend to smash on them.
No, maybe it's because I got a Hortney lock and load. I don't have problems priming.
I'll bring a couple pieces down. You can look at it. And you'll see. You've probably got some somewhere, and you might have better luck with a Hornady. Who knows?
Yeah.
You'll find them. There's one 9mm case that I had one over here. It comes with a step to where the bullet stops. Have any of y'all ran into those? Let's see if I can find it. No, I can't find it. But anyway, this is a 45. See if I can explain. When you look
Okay.
down,
Enlarge Jamie there, Scotsman.
no, there's no need in that. Just say this is a 9mm, and when you look down inside there, about where the bullet would be seated, there's a ledge, and down past that ledge, all the brass is thicker. So what it does, it limits the amount of powder you can put in. It also limits how deep you can seat the bullet into the cartridge. Well, that's going to limit what guns you can shoot it in, because it's going to limit your headspace, and it's also going to increase your pressure with a smaller combustion chamber inside the brass. Would y'all agree, disagree, don't care?
Oh, that's true. I've seen it on some brass.
Am I just overthinking? Just throw those away, basically. And they're head stamped Max something.
There's a couple different ones. I've seen some of the Croatian stuff with it like that too. So Dan, are you seeing prices coming down in your area? I know you're out in Georgia too, but you're a little bit away from Jamie. You're a couple hours.
Yeah. So being in a little bit larger of a metropolitan area, I wouldn't say, Atlanta, but I'm out here in the Augusta area. Just traveling around, I have seen a lot more inventory sitting on the shelves for a little bit longer. I have not seen very many price decreases, and I think that if the inventory sits long enough, the shops will start to decrease their prices and maybe give some kind of discount, or if there's some other kind of scare before, around, isn't there another, I think there's another election coming up, Georgia time frame, about a year or so. They might sit there for that long. Just depends how fast they can turn inventory. But yeah, what you have you guys seen out there? Modern weapons, historic weapons?
I'm definitely seeing a lot more Milsurp rifles coming down in price, that's for sure, and more showing up. But as far as ammo, we're seeing ammo kind of show up around more now. It's come down a little bit out our way. Primers are fairly in stock most of the time now. They're still a little high, but I think that's pretty much how they're going to sit at for a while still.
Primers here are non-existent. I went to Canton. Dan probably knows where Canton is. I found powder for $49.99 a pound. So 8-pound jugs were running $400. So buying quantity is not even discounted. It's brutal.
All right, there you go. There's a question for you.
All right, Enfield or Mauser? I decided on the Mauser side, just because like when you look back in history, the Mauser rifle was, if your country, if your nation used Mauser rifles, you were high tech, and there's something about the action being very smooth. Never really was a Mauser guy. I kind of started off as an Enfield, collecting a lot of Enfields. And I do like the Enfield too, because the Enfield did have its innovation with 10-round detachable magazine. It's just that bolt, the cock on close. Some Mausers had the same, but when it came down to it, I mean, the Mauser was like butter, it was smooth.
Yep, absolutely.
I was growing up here when people were having, they would have guns made. This is back when they were making guns with wood. Everybody was doing the Mauser actions on it. You'd never hear of anything else except they were just putting Mauser actions on their guns.
Well, a lot of modern hunting rifles, the bolt action rifles, are based on that tradition.
The Mauser action, right. And the Enfields, I mean, they were in service for a really long time too. And with the 10-round magazine, they could produce a rapid fire. The British perfected kind of like the suppressive fire back during the early 1900s, earlier 1900s time frame. They practiced what was called the Mad Minute. And I don't recall the exact specifications, but they got to put a certain number of rounds downrange in a rapid pace to successfully complete the Mad Minute challenge. So one of these days, I think I'm going to have a Mad Minute challenge over here.
Jamie, Big Al's got a question. What's the best ballistics any of you reloaders have got from 45 ACP?
Well, around my house, everything comes out on the chronograph at 1,600 feet per second.
Well, then there's something wrong with your chronograph, particularly.
There ain't nothing wrong with my chronograph. It's Scotsman's chronograph.
Hey, it works. It was just giving us crazy numbers.
Yeah, everything.
Is it reading it twice or?
No, so literally everything we shot came out within about 40 feet per second, all with insanely high numbers.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's a 45, 9 mil, 223. It was all 1,600 feet per second. And then Scotsman shot it.
I shot the arm. I didn't shoot the chrono.
The arm is part of the chrono. You shot the chrono.
Hey, the chrono still works, kinda. So I didn't really shoot it.
Well, I went to straighten the arm out, and it snapped in half. So
Yeah, well,
I'll get some dowel rods.
Wire kilt hanger. That'll be fine.
Yeah, RTT 45 ACP if your target is 6 feet away, you better grab a different gun.
So there's a question for Dan. What's your favorite 45 ACP pistol?
Favorite 45 ACP pistol, man. So have you guys shot the Colt 1917 revolver? Something weird about it. Just 45 ACP. You heard that right. 45 ACP.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So the
excellent-
revolver was
excellent.
designed to supplement 1911s during the wars, and they produced them with moon. So they had moon clips that you would place on the 45 ACP, because the 45 ACP is a rimless cartridge, correct? So they issue them with moon clips, and you'd load your revolver up, and they also had half moon clips as well. And you went to town, 45 ACP out of a revolver.
Awesome choice. Hell yeah. All right. Favorite World War I handgun?
All right, so going back during World War One, you can't deny that the Luger pistol, was the smoothest and most devastating pistol you can get. I mean, yeah, you had the C96, but there's something about the Luger pistol that was just like, it wasn't awkward. It fits great in the hand. Like, the trigger is so crisp with the Luger, and it shot the 30 Mauser or not 30 Mauser, the what's it called, the 30 Luger and the 9 Luger. So yeah, when it comes down to it, Luger pistol is pretty sweet.
I think one of the things that made those seem so awesome was the British Webley revolver. But back to Big Al's question, I think you got to remember, Big Al, that the 1911 was designed to shoot a 230 grain ball ammo, and 1,000 feet seems to 1,000 FPS to 1,050 to me seems to be the sweet spot in 45 ACP.
Which is one of the reasons why they work great in 10 millimeter.
Mario is not going to unmute himself tonight, is he?
No, he was done showing off a Dillon box, but we don't even know what that's about. What's it say on the side of that box, Mr. Panorama?
I bet you. I mean, he don't even have a Dillon calendar, do you, Mario? Mario, do you have a Dillon calendar? Wife won't let you have it, huh?
You mean you have a Dillon magazine right next to where you're sitting? What kind of people do that?
Okay, Dan, you didn't know that you were going to be on a live stream where two guys are sitting in their bathroom with Dillon magazine.
Is yours all creased up from the page that you're keeping it open to?
I honestly didn't know what to expect. I didn't know. I didn't know there was going to be so many people.
Well, we don't know what to expect, actually. Every single time we go live with Foreign and Domestic, it could be a off the rails train wreck, or it could be a complete shit show. It's just this really wide spectrum of how things roll in here. So for a guy that is not really all that into mil specs, what would you recommend getting into that's going to have parts availability and like mag availability?
So if so you're trying to get into a military surplus collecting, or maybe pick up something military surplus, I would take a look at the M1 Garand. Now, if you've ever heard of the CMP, have you guys heard of the CMP?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Civilian Marksmanship Program is a government-chartered nonprofit organization. They have 2 stores out of, let's see, one's the North Store in, man, I forget where it's at, Camp Perry.
There's one in Anniston.
And then there's one in Anniston, Alabama. And that's the one that I've gone to. And then there's the Talladega Marksmanship Park. And they also have them up on the racks. And they're fairly cheap. Like, you know how on a gun broker, you might see one go for $2,000 and you're like, what is going on? Well, they're about less than half that at CMP. So definitely, if you're getting into, and of course, we live here in the United States, the great United States of America. So why not get a authentic World War II era M1 Garand?
I want y'all to pay attention that he's saying it correctly. This is why I like this guy.
What, he's saying it Garand?
He's saying it the way it's supposed to be said, yes.
Yeah, Garand.
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 He specifically wanted his name to sound as such, but when he's Canadian born, so pay a little homage to the guy that created the semi-automatic weapon of choice for our forces during World War II.
So what would be the key features that you're looking at in a Garand that is going to indicate if this thing is not going to be shot worthy, or it's been shot out, or what are the key features you're looking at when you go to look at one?
That's a great question. Let me answer Uncle John real quick. So yeah, the Luger, if that's the one you're talking about, I do shoot it, but I tend to only shoot it maybe once a year. So I guess you could say it's both an investment and just going out and having fun. And then going back to the M1 Garand. So when you go to the CMP, they actually do all that for you. They check the bore and they give it a rating. It's 1 to 5. And then they also do the refurbishment process. And depending on, they actually grade it. So they say, okay, well, this has got, a nice stock. It's got the mostly matching parts. And it's got, a good bore. So we're going to price it a little bit higher, but put it on, a service grade level. And then you get the rack grades. But the rack grades aren't really all that bad, because the rack grades could be a little bit more beat up, but you might get more World War II correct parts. And, so if you go there, right now the North Store and the South Store are closed due to a backlog in mail order. So I got a video on my channel that explains how to do a mail order and how to go in person. So the Talladega Marksmanship Park in Talladega, Alabama is the only one that's open right now. Other than that, they also have Springfield 1903 A3s, M1917s, and they did for a little bit have Krag Jorgensens, so I'm not sure if they still have those. But yeah, they do all the grading for you, and they do a check. And if it's not perfect, they also have refurbished ones with new barrels, which is really great for if you're like shooting, because you get a brand new barrel. But if there's a problem, their customer service is great. You can call them. You can ship it back to them, or you can drive over there and get it serviced, and they'll do it free of charge. Indiana Jones hat. So we went to Cherokee, North Carolina a few years ago for vacation, and we were hiking around, we were touring, and my wife thought it'd be a great idea to get me this hat.
I've got one almost just like it. Very cool. So basically, from the civilian marksmanship program, you can't go wrong. If a gun is too sloppy and doesn't meet spec, they're going to rebuild it before they put it on the shelf. Am I right, Daniel?
That is correct. I've actually had the privilege of going back there to the see the armorers. One of my buddies got a new barrel on a World War II era receiver, and he noticed the tiniest little chip just behind the crown inside the barrel. And he called him and he said, "Hey, you know, I got this barrel. It's got a tiny little nick in it." And they said, "Oh yeah, we'll replace that." So we drove down there, and with the intention of also going to the CMP and picking up some more, you know. We went back there. They let us go back there, and they took it apart, disassembled it. It was really fast process. They got all the tools and everything, and they looked at the barrel and they said, "Yep, the barrel's got a little nick in it, so we'll put a new one on there." They put a new one on there, and sure enough, he got to get a nice newer rifle, you know, free from the rebuild. So they definitely have good quality control. Some of the stuff does make it on the shelf with, you know, problems, but then again, you know, you can know the customer service is on point.
Another comment I seen earlier was, I think it was Big Al said that one of the advantages that the American troops had in World War II was the fact that they didn't have bolt actions. That is not accurate. Although a lot of soldiers were issued M1 Garens, a lot of our soldiers were still using 1903s and 1917s. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. The M1 Garens were just starting to get fielded in the late 30s, and you had soldiers in the Pacific Theater on some of these islands that still had 1903s, and some of them, you know, may have had 1903 A3s, but I mean, there's still bolt action, 1917s as well. So it took a little while for them to ramp up production because you had Winchester and Springfield Armory really pushing some rifles out by 41.
What would you say the percentages are, if you got an idea?
I'd have to look at the numbers again, but as far as if I remember right, I couldn't really give an accurate depiction, but I would say that most of the military pre-Pearl Harbor still had bolt action rifles in their armories.
With very few M1s. If any.
Right. New York half-ass prepper asked CMP match and club requirements. I'm not too sure on the match and club requirements. I haven't got into those yet. It's about a 4-hour drive for me. But to join the CMP club, you just need to be as part of a show shooting history, firearm history, weapons history. So like if you're part of a local gun club, that would suffice for the CMP membership. It's not really a membership, but it's you have the right, in order to buy from them, you have to meet certain requirements, and part of the requirements are being part of a firearm or weapons handling association or shooting club. I'm a military veteran, so that kind of those requirements span that, and they take care of a few of that. But I'm also part of the Grand Collectors Association, and that also will suffice for the one of the requirements.
And that's actually pretty cheap. So if you guys don't know about the M1 Garand Association, it's like $25 a year.
Yep, the GCA, Grand Collectors Association, $25 a year. They send you a newsletter every quarter, and it's really good stuff, really good information. They got history articles in there. They got the recap of their shooting competitions. It's really fun. It's really my son reads it. It's pretty cool. So
you say you're a military veteran. Which branch?
So I was I was in the Army for 10 years, stationed at Fort Hood, and got stationed over here at Fort Gordon. So I got out over here. Dan, I don't own any black powder rifle. Who asked? Mario Mosen. Okay, yeah, I don't own any black powder rifles. Closest I got is probably the Vetterli 1873. Well, I guess that's a black powder rifle, but cartridge rifle. I don't know if you were thinking like the what's it called? Flintlock or something like that. No flintlocks. Not yet.
So is that a rolling block?
The Vetterli 1873 is a repeating rifle. It's actually got a tube-fed magazine. They had black powder cartridges still, which didn't really help because the rifle would get gunked up. Also, because it's a tube-fed magazine, it changed the weight of the rifle, and then I think it shot 11 millimeter or 10 millimeter rounds. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, they're pretty big cartridges. I don't shoot mine because it's broken right now. It's got a broken bolt. I have shot one before at my friend's house. Pretty.
Well, those
pretty
black
cool
rifles, that's sulfur. That stuff's really corrosive. So you shoot it once and you clean all day.
Oh yeah.
Because everybody knows we have nothing else to do. But West Covina Dodge, if you see him in the comment section, he has a pretty good collection of Martini Henrys. He shoots those a lot with black powder.
Yeah, Martini Henrys. I was also thinking about one of those. I know you can still get them from International Military Antiques, and I've been eyeing them for years. I've just never been able to pull the trigger. I just can't. It's like so close. Somebody asked, where did I serve? I was at Fort Hood for about 4 years. 2 years of that was in Iraq. I was at Fort Gordon for the remainder. And that was the only thing I did was go to Kuwait. So I wouldn't really call it a deployment, but the Army did.
Man, Mario's on a roll.
Spanish-made rifles. All right, let's see. Spain. Have La Coruña, Mauser M1916. I've got two of them. One was refurbished by Spain later on because they were joining NATO. So they rechambered it for 7.62 by 51. That one hasn't been shot very much, but it shoots really accurately. A lot of folks say that it could blow up over time, or the bolt could get messed up over time. I'm shooting it with caution.
See, if you were a hand loader, you could load you up some light rounds and it'd be good golden.
That was actually something I was thinking about, doing a little softer load. Nope, not a signal guy. I was Intel. I was actually 35 Tango military intelligence system maintainer and integrator. So I did fix a lot of SATCOM. We worked on networks. Yeah, Geek Squad of the Army.
Very cool.
.45-70. Yeah, I got two of those. Springfield trapdoors. Haven't shot them yet. I don't have ammo for it yet. I'm actually waiting on a shipment. So we'll see what happens.
Those definitely have to be lighter loads. Those trapdoors.
Yeah, so I ordered them from a gentleman that I have been ordering ammo from before, but due to the Rona and all the craziness going on, he's backlogged by months. And he does have Springfield trapdoor 4570 and a lighter load. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Steinel ammo, but Yeah, he's been making a lot of military surplus new production ammo. So when it comes down to it, sometimes I just like to go to the range and shoot. And having ammo on standby is a great thing.
Absolutely.
That one I've not heard of.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Portuguese Vergueiro. I don't know if I said that right.
So, what would you say is the one
That would
you
be the
see
Mauser.
most in your area as far as milsurp? What's the one you see most in your area?
I think when it comes down to it, 37 million, over 37 million, somewhere around there, were produced throughout history, and they get imported. They still get imported. Mosin Nagants, they're everywhere, and they're not cheap anymore. It's weird because within the last couple of years they've doubled in value. It's like they couldn't keep them on shelves, so they just kept You'd see them at Cabela's, you see them at Gander Outdoors, you see them at small town shops, you see them at gun shows, you see them everywhere, and they're still now I'm seeing them sit on the shelf a little bit longer because people are asking as much as $750
Yeah, it's
for
it's
just a
crazy.
9130.
When I first got into the gun world and buying and selling, they were about $89. And when I left that particular one job, they'd gone up to almost $330. Yeah, and it was nuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely
and
insane.
I think there's they are a good starter rifle for the average person getting in the military surplus that just likes something that kicks them like a mule and they feel beat up after they shoot it. There's people that like stuff like that. But they're just so much in demand, and I think seeing them in video games and movies and just the Russian history behind it. There's a lot of Russian fanboys, Soviet guys that just like Soviet stuff. It's just just so much collector demand for them. So I guess the prices couldn't really stay cheap.
Yeah, SKSs have gone up a lot too. Even the Chinese made ones, they've gone up quite a bit as well.
Yeah, so if there's another one that's gone up in very recent times, it's the SKS, and yeah, it's a good survival rifle. It's a handy. Some of those folks out in California, they can definitely get their hands on those without a problem. So and they make a lot more gizmos and gadgets to sporterize them these days. Not really a fan of it, but I like to keep them historical. Now, if I do see one that's been sporterized, I'll pick it up. If it's at a good value. I've got one already, and those Chinese SKSs, they're really reliable. I mean, I haven't had any of them had any problems. So during the Rona and all those times, yeah, people were like, "Give me something. I need something." Oh, SKS? Sure, I'll grab that. Shoot 7.62 by 3.9. Can find that ammo just about anywhere. Not during that time frame. It was kind of hard, but still, find spam cams or something.
So for those out there that don't know, you want to explain sporterize?
Yeah, so sporterization or bubbification, you take a historic military collectible and you turn it into a hunting rifle. You chop the stock. Now there's different, I would say there's different ways to do. Like if you have a sporter, a Mauser rifle that's been chopped, there might still be a way to put it back to original configuration, maybe get a new stock for it, but totally sporterized. you're talking about somebody grinded away at the sights. They, you know, put new sights on there. They did some fabrication. They put a new stock on there. They changed the trigger group out with something, you know. So, yeah, when it comes down to sporterized stuff, you know, you see now that they're historically collectible as the original way they came out of the factory or how they were used in military service. And somebody that sporterizes something kind of destroys that history, but they use it for a practical purpose for hunting, for example. And you got to remember, a lot of Mausers were sporterized coming out of World War II because GIs would bring them back. They were coming in as surplus. And, you know, hunting was still prevalent in the 50s. You know, a lot of people still put food on the table with a rifle, you know, especially the small town areas like Rome, Georgia, you know. So.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, bastardizing essentially. The way that I equate it is you take a 1959 Cadillac and turn it into a dragster. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
I think
Just
one
wrong.
of the best I've seen over the years is Ebomi. So Ebomi, Eric had a Mosin and a sniper, and he didn't know it was a sniper model until after he'd bastardized it.
Oh man, those go for around 2,000 now. That's crazy.
Yep. It still is good. It shoots good, but yeah, he bastardized it.
Yeah, and I mean, no one would have thought that. I mean, you got to think back in those days, a lot of these were just sitting in barrels. No one would have thought that anything like this would be collectible or that there would be any value, rise in value. You know, I come across old stuff and old comments and forums. Oh, the Mosin Nagant will never go over 200. There'll never be a time in history that'll happen. It's like, look what happened.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. When I saw the prices start jumping over 150, 200, and just keep going, I'm like, wow, it's nuts.
What do you think of the finished Mosins?
So the Finnish Mosins, that's a very interesting topic. Finland really took the Mosin Nagant rifle and perfected it. They took it, they made new barrels for them. They changed, and you know, so like you had the M91s. They were kind of more standard Russian, maybe with a new barrel made by Tika and a few other Finnish manufacturers. But when you see like the M39, the M2830, that's when you're like, man, they really took an old rifle and really just kind of did their own kind of customization and sporterization for the use against the Russians.
The reason I ask is I have a Finnish M39 with it's Seiko barrel. I think it was dated in 41 or 42. It's one of my prized pieces.
Yeah, they're very and highly collectible. And I don't think that they're ever going to go down in value. I mean, there's always a big, you know, collector group for those Finnish Mosins. And, you know, I think a lot of I think a lot of people are knowledgeable on the Finnish Mosins as well. Because you could still find Finnish Mosins in a lot of areas. I've seen quite a few within recent weeks. M91s mainly. So, you know, when someone gets to looking at them and they go for a little bit higher value than the standard M9130s. So, you know, over time, I think they'll just keep going up.
I think I bought mine at 425, 450, somewhere around in there, and I've turned down $675 offer on it. So.
Wow, yeah, I've seen them. I've seen people ask $9 for them. So yeah, you know, the M39s are one of the final products that kind of like their final. You know, hey, this is what we did with the Mosin Nagant, and over the years, this is the best we got here. You know, there were some Finnish Mosins that came after that. I don't remember the nomenclatures, but they're really hard to find as well.
I really like mine.
So where do you draw the line on what milsurp classification is? How old? What's the age cut?
I don't think there's any real age cut. I mean, I even stick law enforcement in there sometimes. You know, I say, okay, well, it was used by military. It's military surplus. You know, law enforcement trade-in. Okay, it was used by law enforcement. Okay, it might have been used by the Israeli Defense Forces. Okay, it's kind of a gray area, but I'll still classify it as military surplus. But that's where I stand. You know, in modern times, the CZ-75s are a great example. You know, they might have been used by Israel.
75 is a classic. Absolute classic. I love mine.
Have you guys seen the CZ-82? Those are still available right now on some websites. Kind of like a copy of the Makarov, the Pistoletta Makarova.
Yep, I've seen them. I don't think I've sold any over the years, but I have seen them.
I've seen them
Yeah.
on Classic Firearms. I think are those 380s or 9mm Makarovs?
Yeah, so they come in both 380 and 9 Mac. Honestly, I just go with the 9mm Makarov ones, just because of the military cartridge. But yeah, they're still. You know, I had a video earlier this year. I think they're still a great deal for a military surplus pistol, and I actually carry one when I carry.
Nice. That's actually a good question. So, what firearms do you like to carry when you're carrying?
So funny. I carried the CZ-82 and the Colt 1903. And you know, I carried the Colt 1903 for a little bit, and I said, you know what, I can't take this thing out. It's too historical. It's you know, dated back in 1920s. I feel gangster, but it's a little outdated for today's times. And if I'm going to get in a situation, I need to be competent on something that I've fired a lot. The CZ-82, I've definitely put hundreds upon hundreds of rounds down range. You know, and I've got, you know, different types of hollow point for them. And, you know, it's just when it comes down to it, I'm just very comfortable using the CZ-82. I do have a CZ-75 compact that I've also carried, but the grip's really wide. I'm kind of a skinny guy, so the CZ-82 fits more in there in my conceal holster.
There's
Lock
the answer
grips.
for your grips. Lock grips. They make them skinny, medium, and wide.
All right. Lock grips. I'll keep it in mind. Yeah.
Most of the people I know that are shooting, you know, CZs out on the range and carrying them, they've just about everybody just replaced them with lock grips. They are DNA grabbers.
Yeah, I got to add those in my notes right now.
Put it this way, my wife has them on all her CZ pistols also. And that's just after she shot my CZs with them on there.
Yeah, they look pretty nice. Looking them up. You affiliate with them?
No. I won a giveaway once, and I put them on a CZ-75.
Yeah.
And I poured hand lotion on my hands, shot. I poured motor oil. I poured everything that could be slippery and all that there. And no, the gun stayed rock solid. Just don't get the motor oil in your magazine.
All right.
They all just went out.
Yeah, you must have really done a dunk test. Is there a video of that?
Scotsman, I think there was a video on that.
I,
Yeah.
I might have to actually try that now in a video.
Oh no, you don't want
Do you
to.
want to do it?
No.
Oops.
When I first got my first CZ, I mean, I believe in running the gun through the torture.
Oh yeah.
I mean, whatever. And yeah, I finally got the gun to fail, and it wasn't even the gun, it was a magazine. Slapped it in there, and I don't know, there's one magazine one time they came out with the SPO1. They set out with those. And if you slapped it in there doing a fast reload, that bottom plate would come off and all your bullets would just dump out the bottom. Yeah, but they replaced it. Boom. Been a week.
Nice.
So, Dan, being into the older stuff, are you into gunsmithing at all? You probably don't do much in the way of refinishing.
Well, one of my first military surplus rifles was a Springfield 1903 with a cracked stock. I got it from a friend who got it from another friend that lived in California, or got it from another friend whose mom got it from her friend whose husband passed away that owned it, and they were living in California at the time. Well, it was a very challenging rifle when I got it. I got it for cheap off my friend because he went around and he tried to sell it to Cabela's, and they're like, we don't want to give you this much for it. And he's like, well, if he talked to me, he's like, if you can shell up that much, you can have it. I was like, all right, cool. The stock was cracked in 2 or 3 different places. I still have the stock, but I ordered a new stock, and it needed some custom woodwork. So I learned how to do some of that custom woodwork in there. I did some refinishing on there. And the hardest thing really to kind of try not to break was the grenade launcher attachment that was rusted stuck on the barrel. So there was a lot of different attempts at, leaving it in motor oil and using different oils and, just trying to get it off. And I finally got it off. So it was a challenge, and I still have it. And yeah, right now I have Enfield projects. I have a Springfield trapdoor project. I wonder why I don't have time for reloading, because I'm over here fixing stuff all the time. I feel like, if something sits for a while in the store, I can try to negotiate if it's broken, and I, get a good deal on something that really I just put some tender love and care into it and fix it up, and it's back to normal.
Yeah, and that's one of the big keys to it too, is putting that tender love and care into it, man. A lot of people try to fix stuff up, and they try to rush it.
Yeah, that's why I still, I still have, so on my Instagram I do have like photos of weapons I've refinished, or video, different montages of things I've redone. But yeah, it takes a while for me to get, those things fixed up, because I'm trying not to destroy history. You're trying to preserve it as best you can, even though somebody else might have had an accident with it.
Yep, absolutely. So, being that you like the old stuff, do you like a lot of the new stuff too? Or you're an AR guy or an AK guy? Interesting. I have an AR-15. It's got a IR scope on there. I use it for hunting. It's taken down some vermin and taken out some nuisance animal. I'll just go with that. And it's oh man, what's it? It's not Palmetto State. My wife has the Palmetto State Armory AR-15. Mine's the Aero Precision. So I like it. I think it's a lot smoother than a Palmetto State Armory AR-15. I pull the charging handle back, and I could tell there's a difference. So I think Aero Precision is really good craftsmanship when they make their AR-15s.
So to translate for everybody, he's got a 300 blackout, and he loves bacon.
Absolutely. Aero makes some quality stuff. Most of the ones that I put together are all Aero Precision uppers and lowers.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was my first commercial AR-15. I said, I want something that's quality. So AK, yeah, I got one AK. Really wasn't, I like the AK platform. The VZ52 is one of the first AK variants that I shot. It's not really an AK. It's a Czech copy, essentially. But I do like it. I do like the round. Right now, I don't have any surplus AKs. I did have a surplus kit, and I helped my buddy put it together. And then ended up just saying he really wanted it. So I said, hey, it's pandemic. It's hard to find stuff. So I ended up selling it to him. So, but right now I got a Wazer 10. So that's my pew-pews for AKs.
Nothing wrong with a Lasser.
I actually enjoy the SKS platform a lot more than I do the AK platform, if you can believe that.
All right, so have you done any conversions on an SKS to take the larger magazines?
So I have one that I bought sporterized. It was already sporterized, and I thought about putting it back together, but then I looked at the cost of all the parts I would need, and I said, nah, that's crazy. And and it was already butchered pretty bad. So I ended up just keeping it the way it was, and put a Vortex scope on there, and using the duckbill mags. And then I ended up buying the Archangel mags, and those seem to work pretty well for the SKS.
Nice.
Yeah, the Archangel mags are interesting because it has its own quick release lever on the magazine itself. So with the standard duckbill magazines, you might have to pull the latch back first and then remove it. Well, with the Archangels, you just press that latch that's in the magazine already, and it pops right out.
Yeah. Yeah, Archangel makes some good stuff. They make some quality stocks, replacement stocks and stuff as well.
I don't have any GI bring back duffel cut rifles. I have seen some before. I did have an Enfield a long time ago that was, I would say it was sporterized, and then somebody just looked like they would have duffel cut it, but I don't see why you would duffel cut an Enfield rifle because it comes apart easily. So there's no reason, and the stock is a 3 or 4 piece stock. So there's no reason to sporterize it. But that's the closest I've had for a sporterized rifle. Or my bad, duffel cut.
Oh, these guys are just dropping off there, aren't they? Now, if we could just get Mario to talk.
Yeah. So let's see. So Daniel, you got the new range put together. I saw you got all the barrels up there.
Yeah.
Are you moving all the steel targets? Are you gonna set up a rack? What's your plans?
I've got all the steel. I got all the AR-500 steel targets up here now, and I've got room where I can put. I went and Midway had a clearance on some, the bases where you can put your your IDPA targets and stuff like that on. So I got 5 of those, so I can put all 5 of those up there. Get about another 5 or more steel targets put wherever I want, and right there on the flat, you can line up 5 people very easily, and have them all shooting from 6 yards out to 15 yards, and then doing like we used to do, just come on back the driveway to get the farther shots all the way to the garage, from inside the garage or the back deck. So when you come down, I'm just going to do a thing about the range of the money I got put into it and how long it took. And I mean, it took one day, 6 hours, a guy on a bulldozer. And the next day, the guy came over with the gravel, laid it down in there, and I already had the grass seed for the hillside. So it was very inexpensive. So I'm definitely going to be getting a lot more pew and going. And love it.
What's
And the
the
wife
what's
got-
the distance?
Okay, on the flats where you can set 5 people up and you can go out, shoot out to 15 yards on the basic one, or you can just keep coming straight off out the driveway up to 65 yards.
Nice.
Or you can just shoot out the bathroom window here and do some more shooting.
Oh, okay. It causes probably a lot of noise vibration in the house, does it?
Well, yeah, but the brass gets cleaned right away because it just gets collected right in the bowl. You just got to scoop it out. And
Yeah.
Okay.
It's done.
No
Yeah.
more hunting in the grass.
Yeah, definitely not. They can just land in the bathtub if you shoot from the bathroom.
A range safety once told me if you can invent a metal magnet that just attracts brass, you'd be a millionaire.
Okay, I'm a millionaire because Scotsman. Right there, it's a metal detector. Just sweeps up the brass out there. And I've made it so much easier by putting this little number 7 limestone down where you can see the brass and you don't have to rake through any grass.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, she spent $8,000 on a range. Oh, it has to be indoors.
He's overseas. So.
Okay. Yeah, I live in a place
out
where
there in the UK where essentially you have to keep your firearms locked up at the club.
out here it's like I open any window in the house and I can shoot in any direction and there is nobody calling the cops. Because I live out here in the sticks.
That is one thing that I absolutely loved about where I lived out in Arizona is I could shoot out any of my windows. I could go out on my front porch buck naked, shoot any direction that I wanted. Nobody would care. Nobody would probably even know. Yeah, my closest neighbor was 7 miles from me. So it was wherever I wanted to shoot, whenever I wanted to shoot.
So here we get critiqued.
Oh, we're getting critiqued out there?
Yeah, it's like my neighbor will call
Yep.
trigger hand's too strong. You need to
A
pull
lot.
that trigger finger back out a little bit, and they'll quit pulling to the right and all that kind of crap. So, guys, I'm not feeling well. I'm gonna have to leave y'all to it. Dan, very nice to meet you, brother.
All right, good to meet you.
We'll meet up soon.
Sounds good.
I'll be heading that way. So, thanks for having me, Scotsman. Sorry I got to run, man.
You take it easy,
Night.
man. Feel better soon.
Yeah. Good night,
Thank
Jamie.
you, Jamie. Feel better, man.
Man, we need to do another challenge for Battle Beam. This is unique.
You know, if you give Battle Bean a mission, he's going to accomplish it. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
See, now we got
Even if it,
to come up with something really, really good. I don't think we've ever seen Battle Beam grow a beard yet.
no, he's not going to. He made it very, very clear. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. Although, speaking of beards, there was rumor that somebody issued an open challenge, and I found them a challenger for a Battle of the Beards. And I don't know. Have I led a challenger astray? We just don't know yet on if this guy that issued an open challenge
It's
is
just
willing to do it.
There's no response as yet, man. I don't know what's going on there.
That is just not right. He may have to end up losing a slot. Who knows? Maybe Dan can take over his slot for a Battle of the Beards.
So what is the Battle of the Beards? Is there beer involved?
There can be. That's entirely up to you.
Oh.
No, the Battle of the Beards is a stupid, idiotic game that we play where we pit two bearded men's beards against each other, and we talk about it. We give them 5 different categories, and we go through the different categories, and we all vote on it. It's not how it started, but that's what it has now evolved to. And at the end of it all, which is all just for fun, a winner is proclaimed, and that winner gets bragging rights. Pretty much all they get. Now we have added side betting can be involved. We have also assisted in raising funds for Justin's final mission with Battle of the Beards. So it all started out with a little challenge between a man called the Bearded CB and the Crazy Scotsman himself.
Scotsman
And
got
this
spanked.
was oh gosh, what, 2-3 years ago now?
That's got to be 3 years ago now.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's probably 3, maybe even 4 at this point. Yeah, it's been a while. And that was all done by Alan. Alan took care of that, and then we decided to start trying to do it on the live stream. And it just kind of grew from there. And our reigning winner is still the CB. CB is what, 3-time champion now?
Yes, he is. He is a 3-time champion. And so a lot of times Bearded CB becomes a judge. Because to date, nobody has challenged Bearded CB after his 3rd win.
And it just isn't about beards. You know, not just about beards.
It's not. Elaborate.
Come on, Mario, put your arm up there. Come on, get your arm up there. Come on, man. Oh, man, you're the whitest Mexican from El Salvador or whatever I've ever seen. Almost got him. Well, Firearms 101, when you hit puberty, you can enter the beard challenge. Or was you talking about, oh no, he's growing about beards. Okay, he wasn't talking about tans.
Yeah, he can tan pretty good too. He'd be a good one for a tan-off challenge.
Yeah.
So basically what we try to do around here sometime at the end is we try to do all these different challenges, come up with different things to keep it fun and entertaining and bring awareness to veteran suicide and help with that.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Yep.
We've had running challenges where I almost killed myself. We've had
I thought I almost killed you.
Well, you almost killed me too, but yeah, I almost killed myself. I'm not a runner, man. I used to be way back in the day, but not anymore. 2-mile run, I almost killed myself.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We've had running challenges, tan-offs, battles of the beards, shooting competitions.
Our most epic challenge of all, though, was the Great Drink-Off.
Oh, yeah.
And the Great Drink-Off was between the one and only Alan B. Pro and our resident other foreigner, Slovakian. And that was pretty epic. That was at least a $5 donation, and every time someone donated, they had to take a shot.
Oh, man. That was all live streamed, huh?
That was all live stream.
all on live stream. So a fifth
and at
of
the very end of it, we had to
Wilford,
do Itsy Bitsy Spider,
which I didn't get to.
He did it itsy and he fell over.
So what did you get to, Alan?
I didn't even get to the point of singing Itsy Bitsy Spider.
No,
After Lord knows how many Heinekens and a fifth of double oaked Williford whiskey, I was passed out acting like a rock star getting ready to regurgitate myself to death. I didn't regurgitate, but I almost died.
So
But
the record so far for us on a live stream is 3,500.
Wow. And that was the drink off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, believe it or not, that was the drink off. It was $3,500 we raised
Wow.
in 2 hours.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Yep, and all of it went towards Justin's final mission, which is strictly to assist in preventing veteran suicide. Yeah, Pistol Pete, I straight passed out. There for about 20 minutes before that, I was extremely agreeative with anything and anybody said, and then I just straight passed out.
And there for a minute, he thought he was the king of the world, and then it was just out.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, man, beardless. America.
Yeah, I believe that was the week that I was shaven between the time that I lost the Battle of the Beards and the drink off. I did have assistance with me in here in the studio that evening though, because I anticipated I was going to need it.
And he sure as hell did. At the end of the stream, you just saw a hand coming in and grabbing his shoulder.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth a little bit in the side chat with Richard and some of the laws in UK in comparison. And yeah, I misspoke earlier because, well, I'm not in UK and I don't know all their laws. And instead of where I thought like some of the old school laws where you were allowed to have a rifle at your home or something, it was strictly for like farm rifles or whatever. These are way outdated laws, I guess. You are now allowed to have your firearms at home, but they got to be locked in a safe. And the ammunition has to be in a different locked safe. So somebody breaks into your home in the UK, be like, hold on a minute, bad guy. I got to get this other safe open here. Hang on.
And what kind of weapons are they allowed over there?
It's changed a lot over there. Richard would be the best one to answer that question, but it's changed a lot over there. I mean, they got the laws are crazy as far as air rifles and all kinds of stuff as well. Airsoft, you name it. The laws have gotten stupid, but.
Wow. So pretty much a guy breaks in, they got to go in their safe and get the bloody musket, and then go in the other safe and get the bloody lead balls and gunpowder.
Get the cap and ball, the old powder horn.
Yep, yeah, I can see that being an issue.
So, EJ, Mario was issued a challenge at the beginning of the chat to not speak the entire chat. So he's been doing hand signals and comments.
All right, so I don't know what he sounds like. So can someone like tell me what he sounds like? Someone like imitate him?
Yeardley. He sounds like Yeardley Smith. Okay.
No,
She
no,
does. She
no,
does
no.
Lisa. She does Lisa Simpson. That's what he sounds like.
No, no. He sounds like Cyndi Lauper on steroids.
No, Cyndi Lauper's too much of a man.
Okay, George Boy.
George Boy. Come a chameleon, Mario.
De maricon.
Oh, is he typing?
I thought he was gonna sound like, you know, Scarface. Say hello to my little friend.
No.
No. He's like a drunk Mexican, you know.
Remember those Speedy Gonzalez cartoons on Saturdays? Or are you too young for that?
Oh, I remember Speedy Gonzales.
He sounds like Slowpoke Gonzalez.
So yeah, Turtis Gonzalez.
Oh man, I can see look at the veins are popping out on his forehead right now.
Where's the hat
No,
though? He's gotta have the hat.
Mario does not go down very lightly to any challenge.
He just wants a challenge he can finally win. Is that it?
Yeah, see, this one's pretty easy for him to win. Actually, it really is.
Yeah. Seems his computer's broken, the mic's off anyways, and it won't come on.
Yeah, this one's pretty easy for him.
I think his mic is overcompensating for something. Slowpoke was Rodriguez. I sit corrected. Slowpoke Rodriguez.
There you go. So what about it, Dan? Are you up for a beer challenge?
Beard challenge. Sounds interesting. I'll wait a little bit. Let me see what's going on. You know, I'll test the waters out. You know, I'll keep.
All right.
You know, I might join you guys next week. We'll see what happens. And you know, this mute challenge. I mean, it's so devastating. You know, it's hard. It's hard to stay quiet.
Oh, especially Mario.
You have no idea how hard it is for Mario not to say a word.
No, and I actually had a phenomenal competitor lined up for the guy that has an open challenge. And ultimately, if the guy with the open challenge does say that he'll do it, I'm pretty positive we're going to have a great battle of the beards. Two heavyweight contenders.
I think so.
Do they got to start from bare metal? That would mean, you know, skin.
No, not this week.
Oh.
Maybe 3 weeks from next Tuesday.
So quiet in this chat right now. I hear crickets. Well, yeah, but I'm going to give you that, Tim. Marines are, you know, tougher than those dirty little green creatures.
Hey, I just let them do all the hard work. You know, I think I'm satisfied. You know, in my foxhole, they can go charge. I can just pull security.
Well, I mean, you could be like me, just be in the Navy, back up 10 miles, and use you for targets.
Oh yeah.
So you brought up drinking earlier. What's your drink of choice?
Right now, beers is going to be IPAs. I've also been drinking a little bit more Weihan Stefana. And when it comes to liquor, rum, tequila, vodka, gin. Yeah, those were over there.
Okay.
Yeah, I've slid back into the groove of the two-hearted ales. And when it comes to liquor, it's yes. Just yes.
Liquor. It's on the liquor shelf. I'm getting it.
I haven't fallen back into the sudden discomfort funk. I'll tell you that much. That's just still.
So, Mark, Mrs. Holster's doing good. So far in the past month, with everything we were doing, I think we're up to about $5,000 so far. So definitely a little bit getting there and helping her out. So I still got a whole bunch of stuff to sort through, inventory it, and then I'll let you guys know what's out there, and if you guys are interested, we'll figure it all out.
So, what's a great place to go on vacation and go to some distilleries or wineries, or it's a great place to go out there? Like I've heard of like the Kentucky Bourbon Challenge or the Kentucky Bourbon Trail or something like that.
I'd say, yeah, definitely Kentucky and Tennessee around where those hillbillies really knew how to moonshine and went professional at it. But I haven't drank in decades, so you'd have to ask Scotsman and the guy from Scotland and Alan and.
Sounds good.
I think Battle Bean keeps dropping off because he wants to scream and say something, and then he just comes back in once he's yelled. And
No, he was doing that earlier. He was just doing it with his mic muted.
Yeah.
But I can hear what he was saying. He's like, "Chupa ma vegana bedejos."
Is Mario texting you?
You're
Scotsman?
ignorant. You're
No.
ignorant.
I see him going like this, and pretty soon I hear your phone going bzz, bzz.
no, that was someone else.
Oh.
New York Half-Ass Prepper. There's a Mossberg shotgun and a Ruger 1022.
You get a lot of estates in with older weapons, Scotsman?
I haven't seen too many out this way. So I'm up in Northeast Ohio. When I lived out in Georgia, I got to a few different estate sales out there. And when I first came back to Ohio, I had one pawn shop that we went to and did a huge buy and picked up quite a bit of surplus there, including all original M1 Garand unfired.
Wow, that had to be epic.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I thought it was too good to be true. So when I first picked it up and my boss was asking me what I thought, I'm like, well, I think it's probably been rebarreled and everything else because it just looked too good. Got it back to the shop, took it all apart, looked at the up rod and everything, made sure it was all straight and everything was good and all the rest of it, and checked all the serial numbers and all the information, and everything all matched.
Wow, that's hard to find, yeah. And M1 Garands are pretty easy to disassemble. And And you know, when you start looking at the parts and you start seeing that everything's matching, what kind of went through your mind?
I couldn't believe it, dude. I started shaking. I'm not gonna lie, I was shaking.
Yeah, because you know, when you have a rifle like that, just looking at it being in really good condition, you're thinking, okay, maybe $1,500, something like that. And then when you start looking at the parts, just the money symbols start going up.
Yeah, it went. Ended up going to California, and we got a pretty penny for it. Unfortunately, I had to go to California, but you know, we got a pretty penny for it.
Yeah, they're legal out there, so that's a good thing. You know, there's not too many things that are legal out there, but the good old M1 Garand.
Yep.
And I've seen one myself, and it wasn't for sale. The guy was a small town, small shop owner in the mountains of North Carolina. I was on vacation, and I was looking at some of the old guns he had, and he's like, "Hey, you like old stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, I like old stuff." He's like, "Well, let me show you something. My buddy traded me this for a 45, and this, he says he got this from his pappy. It was in WW2." And he said before he got out of service, he traded the armor for this one. He traded out his battle rifle for this one, and he just held on to it. And it was like an all original M1 Garand Springfield Armory, World War II serial number. You know, the barrel was World War II era. It was in a case, like not a case, but like a gun bag. A canvas gun bag that was serialized with the same serial number as the rifle. So I said, wow, this has got to be something special. I told him, he's like, what do you think it's worth? I was like, sky's the limit, man. I don't know. Somebody's going to be willing to pay a lot of money for it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you see that with a lot of revolvers too. You know, like I said, I'm a Smith collector, and you'll see some of them just skyrocket. And it'll just be depending on how rare, obviously, but some of the super rare ones, you'll just see the price just keep going and going and going. I had a 29-1 in my hands once, and I don't know how much you know about those, but there's only 300 to 500 ever made. They don't know the exact number, and the guy had 6,500 on it, worth every frickin' penny.
Wow. Not too much of a Smith & Wesson collector. I do have a Victory Model 38. You know, and I like, you know, the frame. I think, you know, they're really good revolvers. So, not being too well keen on Smith & Wesson revolvers, what would be a great revolver to get into?
So that's a great question. If you're not big into the revolver thing, I would say start out probably with a 357. Reason being is it's versatile, and if you're not recoil sensitive, or if you are recoil sensitive, you can start, you know, throw 38 special in there and start there and work your way up.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, 357. I don't remember what it was. It might have been a Colt Python back in the day. It might have been a Smith & Wesson. I don't remember, but I was about 16 years old when my neighbor took me to the range, and you know, I was still you know, thinking about joining the Army. So he said, "Hey, let me take you to the range and shoot some of my guns." So 357 was in there. I just don't remember what model or anything.
Yeah. Model 19 is probably one of the most iconic ones when it comes to the Smith. Beautiful guns. Eventually I'll find another one. I had one at one point, but we did a bunch of fundraisers for a friend of ours that passed, and someone won that one. So eventually I'll find another one.
Oh, wow. New York half-ass prepper asked 38 special at 38-200. It's a 38 special. It was American issue. But I do have some Enfields in 38-200. Steinel Ammo makes 38-200. It's you know, and I think 38-200 shoots a lot better than 38 Smith & Wesson. It's a little bit it's got a little bit more reach than the 38 Smith & Wesson for those Enfield revolvers and those Webley revolvers. So you know, they are backlogged on ammo orders, so you know, it might be a while till you get something in if you're looking for 38-200 that's newly manufactured.
So, Alan, you were showing us something there with a 597 on it.
Oh, well, just kind of curious for you revolver shooters. The HKS speed loaders, they're one of my favorites. Now I know a lot of guys will use like just the rubber style stripper clips. I've never been able to finagle that. I got these big giant fucking 8-bands as well. What other better speed loaders? Are there better speed loaders?
So
Than
as far as the rubber ones go, Zeta 6 is probably one of the best ones that I've seen so far in the market. And I've got a couple I can send your way so you can try them out. But Zeta 6 is probably one of the best ones, and they're affordable too, and the customer service is really good.
Yeah, I've been curious about those just because they're a lot easier to pocket carry.
They're a lot easier to pocket carry, and the way the Zeta 6 are designed, they fit a lot more guns versatility wise. The way they're shaped and how they're designed. So
yeah, because I mean I've got belt holsters and stuff for speed loaders, but it's not something that I want just to be carrying on my belt all the time. Is, you know, a couple of different speed loaders.
yeah.
I've just never really been all that great with the rubberized ones. Maybe I just need more practice.
They do take practice, but I mean it goes for any speed loader. It takes practice.
But it's one of the reasons. It's actually one of the reasons why I don't carry a revolver. Most of the time I'm concealed carrying, but if I'm open carrying, I would almost do that more frequently with a revolver than a semi-auto, other than like full frame 1911s and so forth, full frame guns. But yeah.
So Admir, no, not yet. I have to go through and compile everyone's information, and as soon as I get that all done, I gotta get with Daniel and figure out how we're gonna do the drawing.
I'm entered on that one, eh? I know I've
Yeah.
entered on a couple of them. Oh,
Yeah.
so I'm actually going to be involved on a raffle I'm entered on?
Well, see, I think we might have Firearms 101 come down and do it.
Okay, because I say, because it's already mine.
I'm in on it too, so I can't do it either.
Yeah, no, but it's my gun. I would like to thank everybody else donating the money, and I win.
Yeah, no. So
I'm gonna crap my pants if I do win it.
We're gonna probably have Firearms 101 come down and probably try to help out with that and knock it out.
Okay.
Because I can't do it because I'm entered in it as well. I'm not gonna keep it if I win it. It's going somewhere else. But
it's not going to California.
It's not California legal. And no, I'm not changing it to make it California legal.
Hey, we can send him the Glock parts we did the review on.
So I hope to have that kind of set up sometime in the next week or so, next week or 2 weeks. So,
hey Mario, you ever think about moving to Miami? You know, Florida gun laws are a lot less stricter over there.
Hey, when you go to the beach in Miami, the water's warm.
You know, I think there's a lot more scenic views in Miami and you know, in California, if you know what I'm getting at.
Great deep sea fishing.
Cuban women.
Spring break every spring.
Cuban women.
Yeah. You get him in trouble going to Miami. I forgot.
His wife already said no, they're not going to Florida.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess she sees the consequences of going to Florida too, so she just wants to stay right there. Well, in that case, you
No.
come to Georgia. Ain't nothing
I would
much
tell
out
you,
here.
I will tell you right now, Battle Bean's wife would absolutely destroy him if he did anything.
Too many family ties.
Too many family ties in California. Yeah. Yeah. Family ties. It's hard to let some family ties go.
Yeah, it's incredible that he's still not talking. I wonder how
I
he's
mean-
gonna do his outro.
I mean, Las Vegas, Nevada is just over there, and that's so similar. Yeah, very similar. Just better gun laws.
There's two things keeping Mario in California. One, his wife is a better shot than him. And after that, don't worry about the second thing.
No way. What's her gun of choice?
A CZ. He shoots a Glock. That's why he's
Oh.
outgunned.
Yeah, I can see why. Some polymer crap.
Oh,
All right, so we're coming up on the 9:00 hour. I do have to go to work, so we're gonna start going through the room, and we'll start with Daniel. What you got, man?
well, I've got a complete refurbished everything. Been living life, so I should be coming out with more of my crappy videos here. I'm just going to probably be putting one a week up, unless I get a wild hair or something. But I'm just out here still doing the same old. My permaculture, my reloading, and my shooting in the backyard.
Awesome, good deal.
Oh, the immigration laws are keeping Mario.
So, Battle Bean, what you got, buddy? Awesome, good deal. Oh, it's good to have you on, man. You did a great job. Well done. Good job.
Only Battle Bean can not only hold conversations, but get people laughing and smiling without saying a damn word. Only Battle Bean. I'm telling you.
Yep, rocking and rolling over there. So, Dan, it's been a pleasure having you on, man. It'd be good to have you on again sometime. But what you got for everybody?
All right, thanks. Thanks for the invite. When it comes down to it, it is a growing following for some of these historic military collectibles, and I think, I think everyone should have, at least one or two in their collections or within their arsenal. So if you don't have, military surplus and you're looking to get into it, you can check out my channel and check out many others. A lot of other content producers out there that have a wealth of knowledge. You just go find. So if you're not sure about something, just be resourceful, learn history, and curate history.
Awesome. Thanks again, man. It's good to have you on. Lots of knowledge and lots of questions there, so it's great. As far as myself, probably not going to be a whole lot coming out this week. Probably nothing for the next week or two. Actually, we'll see. Maybe if I go down to Daniel's, you might see something. We'll see. But I got to get that raffle set up and figure out how we're doing that drawing. Other than that, I'm going to switch it over to Alan to take us out right.
Oh, man. We've been gone for a minute. It doesn't feel like we have. Great to have everybody showing up in the side chat. Wonderful to see everybody tonight. Thank you to a very, very good panel. Dan, wonderful to meet you. One of the things that was disappointing to me was I was supposed to be able to announce two guys on a Battle of the Beards. One guy has yet to confirm if he's going to accept the challenger that I came up with, that I decided to draw in. But other than that, I probably will put out, 15 or 30 videos this week. Probably not. But as always, keep the magazines loaded and one in the